Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yes, perfect.
Alright, so we have come back to the frozen shop. We have discovered that Death is somehow incapacitated or, made impotent after a fashion and is not very effective.
It's some sort of an experience, but who knows?
But we also have to be trusting Valdimar in what they say about such things.
Which we really
So we're not
can't.
really confident that Valdimar is super trustworthy at this point. Anyway, welcome back. Last episode was an interesting episode for us, and we're kind of both excited and tentative to get through this thing and see what it's like. But we're going to find out about
Hi, but what?
The devil, of course.
Oh, the devil actually
The
had
devil shanked Death somehow.
Okay.
Can you guys, the Arcana, actually interact with and hurt each other? Is that a thing? Could, Miss Kitty the Star go around and be like, you know what, we just need to do some redecorating around here. Now that Astra has brought us all together, we should totally just restructure all of it. And then she could just go, lay waste to everyone's land and take over all of it, the way, some cats do.
Yeah, maybe.
I will just go, scratch everything like my own personal scratching post.
Right?
So that's me, anyway. But, alright, so, the devil, of course. It sends a chill down my spine. I've just learned what spines are and where they are. Oh, I remember the devil and Valdimar standing side by side in the palace garden. It shouldn't be very hard to remember. It was kind of an experience for me, just to be honest.
Actually, so it was the devil who tricked us and sent us here?
I mean, it was kind of the devil who was responsible for stealing your entire bodies, and it happened in his presence, which kicked off this entire astral realm thing? I'm just saying, my dude? Yes?
Of course.
How would it not be the devil at this point?
The devil.
It literally happened in front of the devil with the devil talking about it. Oh, I'm sorry. And then your bodies dissolve. Lucio comes back and you're stuck in this state. Julian, did you really, really think he wasn't involved?
Hey, that's because he's playing really dumb. He's playing very dumb.
I'm sorry.
I can remember how he's playing dumb.
He's playing a himbo right now.
He's kind of... If he's a himbo, I am a man.
He's playing a himbo.
And I do not ID as one, so thank you.
So, did you only just figure that out? Are we sure he's still playing dumb? Because that question doesn't learn us anything.
It's not really helpful. Unless he's really tried to build Valdimar up and go, we are so stupid, we are a baby.
Or he's stalling for time in a weird way, what are you stalling for? Because you'd have to have a plan if you're stalling. That's me going,
Then you really are one of his servants.
Yes, but I thought Valdimar pretty much had established that.
What?
So if he's still playing dumb, that's fine, because Julian, you're not stupid. So I really need to know where this is. What are you trying to do with this?
You're not lacking comprehension, I should say.
Don't be crass. We're colleagues. We just work together better than all of the rest of you disgusting peasants.
Bitches.
Aye.
And the other courtiers you were working with? Volta, Vlastimil, Volgora. Are they colleagues too?
Aye. So you are fishing for information, I guess? You feel like you need to keep Valdimar talking to be able to get more answers out of them, but they seem perfectly willing to answer questions, so you're trying to gather information for Nadia at this point.
You could do it.
They might like to think they're on the same level as me. But oh no. Oh no. They're basic bitches. I kind of just want to make a screen cap, another one that we did for our blog on Tumblr, and just be quote Valdimar with this, no, they're basic bitches.
Yeah. Honestly, it'd be pretty good.
If you haven't been over to our Tumblr, we don't post super often, but we do have Arcana memes on there, and so we think they're funny.
Yes. Damn it.
It takes a long time to become this powerful, and none of them have managed it. I'll just suggest that they're all working towards the same goal as me, but they're not as dedicated. They're not as focused.
Or as capable.
They're not
as beautiful, fantastic,
as successful.
well-organized, capable.
I believe their genders are largely getting in their ways. Sorry, I just
That's so good.
I had to use it somewhere.
They should just abandon that shit.
Them makes you powerful. Non-binaries are powerful.
Yes! Perfect!
All right.
If you're so powerful, why does the devil have you doing his dirty work? Is he afraid of us? Actually, good question. Is he trying to take away the voting machines because voting actually takes away his power?
Oh, are you saying the devil's removing the mailboxes? Because, he's afraid of all those voters out there?
Because when everybody likes to say that voting means nothing, clearly that's a bullshitting lie, because why else would you take away the machines? Why else would you take away the postal service?
Yeah, so,
bitches?
If he wasn't afraid of us, why would he be trying to get rid of us? Surely we're the only bodies in all of reality that could possibly recreate Lucio. Finds out that there's something incredibly special about Nerd's body and the fact that it's been reincarnated, and that's why you can steal it to turn into Lucio. And if Astra had never brought Nerd back to life, Lucio could never have a body again, because it requires that specific spell component of a reincarnated person, of a revived person.
Honestly, that would be super interesting. And based off of the fact that if I think I guessed it before, it was going like that, your main character is based off of the Fool. That tends to be the card. So that's the blank slate card. Yeah, so I got, that would make sense, because then you can impose on that whatever you want.
And you would need basically the Fool card. So I've always enjoyed spells that require complex spell components, and that where half of the journey is to find or make one of those spell components, or you go, oh my god, I didn't realize one of these weird esoteric MacGuffins still existed at all. That means this spell, which I didn't think was even an option anymore, is now possible. Hey! And so there's this experience of Lucio going, I died, but I'm an angsty, bitchy ghost, because, I can't be I have unfinished business of being awesome, so like Casper, I can't go home. Kind of thing.
I will never go home. I'll just get shat on by my uncles. All of the uncles is like Valdimar, Volta, Volgora.
Suddenly, you just take into a Casper and, Arcana crossover, and the three annoying uncle ghosts are all, your courtiers. And then you have Lucio being, the immature, but whiny and, just
slightly
undirected and entitled, Casper.
Yeah.
He's more of a bitchy Casper instead of a soft Casper, and that's just it.
That's
the whole story.
Yep, that's the Is he afraid of us?
We're totally afraid of you. Afraid? Why ever would he be afraid? I'm trying to think if I've ever seen why ever before, because it looks really weird right now.
Doesn't it?
Or if it's usually hyphenated or something like that, or if it's 2 words usually.
I don't recall, actually.
Anyway, it looks strange, but why ever would he be afraid? I love that you have tools in your belt at all times. It's hilarious.
It's kind of cute, and also, I love the fact that you have, modern crimpy tools. So the thing is so based off of what I'm seeing...
Clamps.
The clamps. I'm like, that... Actually, I don't know how old those are.
I think the clamps are as old at least as Victorian medicine, so that would be reasonable. I would say, but I think it's really funny that you're going to have a scalpel in your apron pointed up towards fingers. Kind of you're supposed to point the sharp ends down.
Yeah, but then it'll fall through the apron.
That's why you put a top on it. Or you wear a sturdy leather apron.
Honey, we don't do tops around here.
There are no tops.
There are only bottoms.
Oh my god. You can't possibly kill him. Not with your pathetic humanity intact. Kill whom? The devil?
Do we need to kill
Arcana?
Hang on.
Hang on.
Wait,
hang on. You have just revealed that Arcana can be killed at all, which makes us more powerful in that knowledge. And to me, that sounds like a terrible slip of information, because I assumed they were immortal forces of reality, and thereby, like the wind, cannot be destroyed.
Yeah.
Like nature cannot be destroyed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you can destroy a piece of nature, but not all of nature.
Right.
So you can really kill them? Oh my god!
That would be fabulous and fascinating. Good job.
That means if we murder the devil, then Lucio dies permanently.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's who his contract is with.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
But the devil's so cool looking.
I know. The little ears. Or the long,
soft, curly ears.
Yeah, they're adorable.
If you were like me... Valdimar pauses. I get the feeling that they've said too much. That they've told us if we were undead, we could murder the devil, which means they're the only person that can murder the devil, which means I think with my very young mind that if we slingshot them into the devil, he might die.
With the horns on the head? That's exactly how this will work. Perfect. Julian, I've got it.
You suddenly got Nerd and Julian standing there holding Valdimar like a battering ram running at the devil.
Ah! Chasing him down! The devil. What the fuck are you
doing? What the hell? We've found out the purpose for the horns. It's because Valdimar is a devil murdering fork.
Yes! Not a tuning fork, but a devil murdering fork. Honestly, I thought about it for a while, but I kept just being like, yes, tuning fork.
Oh, God.
Ping!
Valdimar's perfect pitch.
I am perfect symmetry. I am the beginning and the end.
Yep, and I am the gateway right in between. Ta-da! Oh, that's why. Because there's a...
Is that the only place there's a...
Yeah, well, you know.
Or is it over here? Or is it over here?
Valdimar pauses. I can't stop giggling. Oh my God.
I'm fine.
I hope at some point someone comes into this Let's Play and then it's just like, I laughed so hard at what before was so serious and angsty for me. Thank you for showing me that it's possible to have a wildly different tone shift, even with the same content. I still have my sad, powerful experience, but this was a ride, my bros.
It was a lot of ups and downs, but mostly ups.
Like I want somebody to be at some point. Like I think the ultimate achievement for me, and personally, if this Arcana run, someone at the end just does that tag, that meme tag of this was a trip from start to finish.
Yes,
kind of thing.
All right.
Valdimar pauses. I get the feeling that they've said too much. I tire of this. I suppose I should wrap things up in a tidy little blanket. A tiny little vial.
A tiny little vial?
A tiny glass vial. A little glass vial. I'm sorry. All right. I bet Valdimar would love. What is it? What is the stuff called?
Oh fuck! I just forgot.
I can't remember.
No!
It goes against the skin in a little glass vial.
Shit! What's the name?
I don't know.
I can remember part of the song, but I can't remember that. A Zydrate! Zydrate comes in a little glass vial. A little glass vial. A little glass vial. And you put it somewhere against your anatomy.
All right. Anyway, I think that Valdimar would love Zydrate.
I really do too.
I think that would just be a thing. And in a little glass vial.
A little glass vial?
I would love to hear Valdimar sing that song. That would be amazing.
That'd be beautiful.
Right. I admit, I'm curious. I've never killed anyone already separated from their body before.
Sir...
I wonder
Sir,
if it will be the
Sir.
same. Yes?
Can you even do it?
I'm about
Isn't
to find
death a part of the body experience? So if one doesn't have a body, how does one die?
Maybe we're already dead. My theory is that we're already dead.
I thought we were already dead, too, because I don't...
Valdimar pulls out the little scalpel, cuts the fabric of reality as though it's a poorly placed backdrop on a stage, pushes it open, and then just unceremoniously kicks you through. Pop!
Look, you've died.
You've crossed over. Dead. It wasn't as climactic as I was hoping, but nonetheless, lightly satisfying. Puts the scalpel away, sutures reality closed.
Julian, what the absolute dumpster fire was that? Hold on, I'm coming for you, nerd! Kicks Valdimar in the ass. Don't worry, Death, I'll save you. Death somewhere. I'm sorry, what?
Death, tiny and, very mutable. Having been very muted. Who? What?
They're a little bit zoned out half the time, like,
They're a little bit like Sega. They're just missing some pieces.
It's true.
I feel this. So my friend has a death character that is a little bit zoned out due to an ordeal they went through. And this just sounds a little bit like that, actually.
It's true.
All right, so, separated from their body before.
Oh dear. I think we've
adrenaline and magic alike surge.
I feel like something's coming up. Usually we don't have, are we going to either have a choice or a time choice? What do you think?
I'm expecting a timed choice, and it just irritates me because I don't read fast enough.
That's one of the things, actually, that I've thought is very frustrating in regards to, watching my friend play this, is that when you suffer from dyslexia, this sucks.
Here's a question.
What?
If a time choice comes up, and then you immediately use the window button on the tablet, so it puts the game into a window with the other programs you have open, does it freeze the time choice so you can think about your actions?
Do we want to try it?
I don't know, but that sounds like a thing.
We can
We're
try.
curious about now the technical mechanics of this game, and I'm wondering. All right, adrenaline and magic alike surge through my veins, responding to Valdimar's threat.
So if you see the screen go funky here in a second, if that's what happens, I'm like something's
because we might just test this theory, and I doubt you could patch for that. I don't know, unless you can make your game running while it's windowed on a tablet,
which I feel like would be silly.
Would be pretty silly.
Yeah.
I was like, also, does magic act like adrenaline? Does it surge up on its own, or are we doing something?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Exclamation point and more jingly bells. Hang on. And another angel got their wings. Hey! What was that? Valdimar has vanished in a twinkling of magical fairy bells. Poof!
Oh, I'm sorry, that was fairy gas.
Oh, whoops.
Valdimar, I made a mistake.
A voice? The music is so like... They hired the guy that plays in My Nurse Girlfriend. Be in the corner.
I got the violin. I've got this.
I've got it.
Hi.
A voice? I mean, you didn't get the question marks in a dialogue box, so I'm thinking it's not a voice.
Hi.
Are you planning to fight back? Please do. It's more fun that way. Last time you hurled an object at my head, it was so beautifully pointless. You're just completely helpless in a lightly amusing way.
Lightly? Nerds, no! You can't fight them!
You don't know that about me at all. I don't know that about me.
In fact, I only know spells when it's convenient to the plot, so I don't know shit.
As far as I know, I only know spells if I'm panicked. Panic is my muse. I don't know how to do anything unless it's urgent or, somebody needs to write something.
Yeah.
At all. And also, by the way, dude, neither of us know what I'm capable of at all. Him, no, you can't fight them. Us goes off on a long discourse. Valdimar just sits there going, infinite patience.
Why did I open my God's damned mouth?
Valdimar, if I spoke less, I could work more. Why do I continue to speak? It always makes people stupider. Because they start speaking back. You bark at a dog, the dog barks back. Yeah. There. Get it. Ha! Okay, so we're going to close this. All right, I have to try or run. So, guys, we just tried this so that we can see what happens.
Is it still on? Hang on.
Oh, yeah, of course
it's still playing.
Yeah, it's just a screen recorder. So you guys are in a meta experience with us right now. Where us who play games together have just exited the game onto our desktop. You get exposed to all of our alerts, and, we're just laid bare right here.
All right, here we go. Okay,
So, based on nerd, because we're going to do this, finally. Well done identifying a time choice, by the way. Good job.
Well, I was just like, hang on, because we're trying to amp things up. Here's Valdimar. We're going to try to have an action sequence. Why not?
So, I feel like, with nerd, one, they want to be decisive. So rather than not choose, I think they are going to choose. On the other hand, I'm kind of like, what if you don't choose? I kind of feel like...
It'll pick something, as far as I can tell. So we experimented with a couple of times earlier, and it looks like it does make a choice for you. I don't know...
Even if you don't choose.
Yes, so you cannot not choose.
So there isn't a third option.
There is no third option.
As far as we can tell, there is no third option, though I really wish there was, and I feel like when we're done, I'm going to come back and do this chapter again and be like, read what the dialogue for I have to try is, read what the dialogue for I run is, and read what the dialogue for not choosing it all is, and see if it picks one of them or if there's a third option.
Right. Okay, so which one would you think?
But, there's been a lot of things going wrong when we've been following Julian's direction.
Yes.
Like a whole lot of things going wrong. We've almost lost our guide a couple of times. We've almost fallen off the edge into the pit of things. When we're following his natural instincts of things, we've also gone behind a whole lot. I think at this point, nerd really is going to be like, we've even been led to the wrong door by Julian.
Yes.
Go, I need to make my own choice. And you've told me I can't fight them. So I feel like I have to try. I feel like that's what nerd would do, of going, if this is meant to be my journey, and the star told me this is about me and something I have to do,
right.
I feel like it would be I have to try.
Yes.
Does that make sense to you?
That makes total sense to me.
Okay.
And also, again, at the same time, as far as I've seen, based off of Nerd's structure, what we figured the game was trying to teach us to teach Julian, because we're dragging him along in this, is facing your fucking issues. Don't run.
Face your fears, because we keep doing that. Every time he ran away from his fears, we went, come on, we need to go walk through your fears.
Yes.
I mean, we couldn't do it with the spider tunnel, the possible spider tunnel, but we did it with a lot of other things. It really was, Julian, we are going to face what you consider to be a fear. We have to face our fears. So I think I have to try.
All right, ready?
Is what we're going to choose. I'm going to try this. Hopefully it will load correctly.
Yes, have to try.
All right. I have to try. You have to not stop me from doing everything. A strange buzzing rasp echoes through the shop. It's coming from Valdimar. Is this Beetle Valdimar? Like Beetle Julian and Beetle me?
Hi.
Is it a triad of beetles?
Oh, googly-eyed beetles!
Adorable little beetles. When I look at them, I flinch in horror. Okay, here it is. So, we complained earlier about not being able to tell Nerd's emotional tone very well, because there was this level of going, we're walking down, we go down the elevator, we're walking through the tunnels, we see handprints.
I was walking through the woods one night.
We get into the dungeon. We see these things that could or could not be interpreted as unnerving sights because they're just sights. And then we suddenly are, I'm trying to scream and I can't scream. And this one says, in horror. This actually informs us what kind of tone they're going for and what we, the character, are feeling. And while I appreciate that that's not as a blank of a slate as some people might want going, I'm not scared, you could literally decide that, but at least the writers are informing you the exact tone they're going for.
Yes.
And I like that. That's helpful. I, the player, am meant to react in horror to this. Good. Valdimar's body wavers, uncertainly at the edges, overlaid on a shape I can't even begin to understand.
So
it's a mirage?
Cosmic horror?
Valdimar is
Eldritch being.
Basically an eldritch being. So we saw this really great description. It was a visual description, so I'm going to do my best with it, of eldritch being before, because a lot of people go, it's incomprehensible, it's terrifying, this and that. But someone did this cool little edit with a frog, or actually a toad, where what they did was they made it so pieces of it kept switching out for other pieces of reality, while the toad was still moving as a natural toad does. But part of it became like a small piece of a bus, part of it became part human. It just slowly kept flashing and morphing into these different like phased things, but continually moving naturally as it went along.
Right.
And so it was this eldritch horror experience going, it's not that you can't handle how spooky it is, it's that you literally can't get it to settle down into your descriptive reality. And so it's horrifying because you cannot make sense of it because there is no sense to be made.
Okay.
And they literally had organic and inorganic things all swapping out in pieces of this toad in a way that your brain is going, this should be a thing, because they're all smoothly incorporated into it. And again, in this sort of like, maybe your film is just a little bit out of focus. Maybe your eyes just aren't focusing quite right. Mm-hmm. And that is the feel I'm getting from this.
Sure.
As though their human form is merely a veil. You call that a human form? You call that a human form?
I mean, if this isn't human, honey, what is it?
What is covering something other? My mind struggles to make sense of what I'm seeing. A fierce, sharp pain blossoms behind my eyes, because your brain can get really upset at seeing information it doesn't understand that it can't quantify. And this is actually a real good piece of literal psychology, where our brains our brains tend to edit a lot of reality that isn't important to us.
Yes.
Like, the more we get comfortable with and understand our reality, the more our brains decide what's important based on what we want to do, and then just edit out information constantly. The way someone can actually literally come up in front of you, take your plate away and switch it out for something else. And even if you were looking there, if you were focused on something else, like a conversation or holding your napkin or whatever it was, you did not notice it happen. You go, shit, my plate's different. What happened? Like, a lot of people go, you literally saw me do it, but you didn't, because it wasn't what you were focusing on. Your brain filtered that out.
Yes.
There's actually this really cool psychological experiment of like basketball players, where they ask you to do something like it's a thing they do in psych classes, where they'll show you a video of basketball players and they'll say, try and count how many times the ball is passed, right? And so you go, okay, so you're trying to watch how many times the ball is passed in this little scene in basketball, right? And then they ask you at the end, okay, so how many was there? And people have their various different answers, and it looks like it's an observational experiment about, basically witness reliability, right? And then they say, okay, now we're going to watch the same video again, and I want you to tell me when you see the gorilla. And we all go, huh? And when you watch the video again, there's literally a person in those cheesy Halloween gorilla costumes, the big fuzzy black ones, that just walks through the middle of the basketball game, doing a little sachet, kind of waves at the camera, and then walks out again in the middle of all the players. But since you were watching the ball be passed and that's all your mind cared about, you didn't see it.
Huh, that's actually really interesting.
So brains struggle really hard to deal with information that they don't want to be noticing or they don't know how to understand. If you had seen the gorilla, your brain filtered out the gorilla because it was important, but if there was something there demanding you notice the gorilla and everything else, it could be very frustrating and confusing to your brain. Anyway, so this works really well for me.
Sure.
Again, I hear that rasping. Is Valdimar laughing? Julian grips my arm, and I tear my eyes away from Valdimar with an effort. Do not go insane and let it break your mind, we hope.
Nerd, I believe in you. Do what you need to.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Fucking finally.
I was just saying, wow, I am finally credible. Yay! Somehow, he musters up a grin, which sounds very like him. In the darkest of situations, he's like, find the humor.
I will be a funny shit. It's all I have left.
Right.
Because otherwise I am in shit.
Because otherwise,
what I'm saying is I'm shit.
The world is terrible.
I kick your ass!
Okay, that's amazing. And I don't know whether or not that sounds like him at all, but it's really funny. I feel like that's one of the authors just going, this would be funny as shit, and not really what he would actually say.
I have to say,
but that's
funny. Exactly where I was going. That, it sounds funny, but it doesn't seem to fit.
It sounds like the kiss me, you fool kind of thing, of going, this is a line that people use when it's charming, but not like what he would actually say. And given that he's used some, sort of old-timey kind of English here and there, and that he has had kind of a dialect sort of to his speech, as many of the characters in here have. There's kind of a feel to it, except when those lines come up. It'd have been cool if he'd have chose something that was more specific and distinctive to him. Like if he'd been written with a different line, or even something that called back to something you'd done, like, like summon fire on them, or, just light them up, because we keep using the glowing ball spell and that kind of thing. Like,
light them up, nerd! Yeah.
Exactly. Like I think it would feel more powerful and more meaningful.
And more connective,
even if this is funny. And I usually go for more meaningful connective than like, sort of a cheap laugh, if you will. I focus, pushing past the pain. I actually have a huge amount of experience pushing past head pain, so 3 years worth of training about my memories is really prepared me for this moment. Relevant skill sets.
Thanks, Asra.
And
I'm sorry, did you want kisses?
Listen, no, I'm not on your arc. I'm not on your route, Dad.
Oh, what can I do to make it better?
Oh, I suppose kisses like you did when I had a boo-boo, that would be fine. But I don't have a boo-boo right now, it's just my brain.
Julian, stop boo-booing, okay?
No more brain boos!
Oh my god, please!
I'll get you a helmet! I'll get you a tinfoil helmet to stop all the psychic interference!
Just stop it! Alright, here we go!
I focus, pushing past the pain. Relevant skills like wow.
That was actually really good. Good catch, friend.
And listen, searching for the voice I heard within me. Honestly, they finally wrote something again. That is good payoff. Nerd has been practicing dealing with psychic headaches for, as far as we know, the entire time they've been trying to regain their memory. So at least 2 years, because it probably takes a year to learn language. It takes most babies a year to learn language, right? And so you have 1 year where you're pre-language and, barely sort of doing phonemes and basic sounds and things. And then after that, you start realizing what languages and what memories are in context and stuff. And then you start understanding more of who you are. So for at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years, you've been practicing fighting psychic headaches, which is perfect preparation for this. And I respect the shit out of that. Good job.
Yeah. Yes.
Searching for the voice I heard within me. The jing-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling voice.
Maybe the actual death?
There it is. Or is that actually the, call to our actual door?
Maybe.
That would be amazing.
Is our actual door tied with death? That's wild.
Maybe. Could be. Death is also, rebirth and life, and since we did die...
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Astra did the spell a little bit shoddy, and that's why we're tied to death. That's right. It was the first time I did it.
Sorry, did you want the kisses?
Yes, I tried to use the kisses. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. And then I got stuck on this long thing of doing the solitaire, and it was like, whoa.
Whoa, and I apologize. I'm sorry your life was very hard.
You were my baby.
All right. The voice rings in my mind, suddenly, loud and clear and jingly, tinkling like a bell. Fairies live. It's my voice. Though it doesn't speak in any words I understand. I used to speak a different language!
Honestly, that would be really cool.
Honestly, that would be amazing. I used to be, bilingual.
Yeah.
And then Asra's he only speaks one language, like a basic bitch. Like both of us who only speak one language.
Hey.
And so we only learned one. You know, honestly, kind of cool. No words I understand. It whispers.
It's a whisper of.
It's a whisper of salty air, a flash of the sun on the ocean, a promise of a faraway horizon.
Oh no!
Why are we made of that? Okay, don't, because I know exactly what you're thinking. But why are we made of that? We have no idea that we've ever been anywhere near the sea in our life at all. The only thing we have is Julian's dream when we said that we were willing to listen to his ideas about shit, and we didn't want to be we didn't want to be a neighborhood hero. We wanted a life of adventure. His idea was the sea. Did he bind our soul to him the way the Witcher bound Yennefer's soul to him? In that moment, I hate magic. Let me just bind your soul to mine permanently because I'm a little insecure. Hi.
Great.
Julian, are you insecure? Did you do it to a soul binding spell?
Without consent?
Without asking me at all?
Yeah. What? No! Why would I ever? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Why would you?
I did no magic.
I don't know magic at all! Don't!
Side-eyes him suspiciously as I'm about to go to war with Valdimar. All right, so that is going to be this right here.
Yes,
my dudes, my bros. We are doing these 30-minute episodes, and you're welcome to give feedback if you so desire. But like
again, please avoid spoilers. Oh my god!
Until we are done with the route, and then avoid spoilers for the other routes, please. We feel that part of what makes this playthrough distinctive, despite the fact that it is apparently the only sanctioned one out there, because everybody else got crushed by Nix Hydra and did not punch back as hard as we did.
Excuse me.
I will send emails to you until you give me permission. Anyway, like, this feels really, really weird since we have no connection in all of our entire story to anything to do with ocean and faraway horizons and traveling. And I'm just like, are we really saying that we have become a piece of Julian's story and that that's what our character is now? Like, we literally have...
We are tied inexorably to him?
Like, when Nadia assigned us to figure him out, or when he walked into our shop, we're now inexorably tied to his fate. And that's something we don't get to choose in this route. It's just what happened. And that feels sort of weird. And I understand there's that whole fighting against fate thing that everyone has of, you know, you challenge your fate, shooting arrows into the sunset with a hair.
Be free and shooting arrows into the sunset.
With a hair flying in the wind. Yeah,
honestly.
Like, we just, you know, if we go, well, that's our destiny, then we have to be Merida and fight against it. But, you know, even if we like Julian, I can't be with you because of destiny. It has to be because of my heart. I have to choose for my own reasons. Anyway, so this feels strange to me. But anyway.
Yeah, so, hi. Thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also please feel free to share our videos if you're having a good time with us.
Yes, please.
Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. I got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And sharing our videos really helps bring visibility to this series, and we greatly appreciate that. Most of our channel has been seen, as far as we know, via word of mouth or our own advertising, because the algorithm doesn't seem to like promoting us that much. Even when we search our own videos in the Arcana or in the, you know, fields that we do them, we don't ever come up first, regardless of how we tag them. So it's really helpful if you share.
Yes, absolutely. So,
and in the meantime, I have been Lies, and it was great playing with you. Bye!